What's going on, all? AZ coming back at you with another movie review. Hope you guys enjoyed the review of Transformers 2, at least more than I enjoyed the flick itself. I'm extending slash expanding my channel to movie reviews also, from my basic love of sports cards, mainly because I just want to do a whole bunch of things. I am a big movie buff. Back in school I used to take some film classes and whatnot too. I admire films from an objective standpoint, from a technical, production, cinematographical, directorial, acting, and basic film geek fan standpoint. So I have many different views on films. I try to give you, the viewer, the best opportunity to take all this information, both as somebody who appreciates the film from a technical standpoint and as from a subjective standpoint, and to use it to make your own decision whether you want to watch these flicks or not. Now, of course, just because I say something is good or not, it's not going to affect you, or it should not. Actually, let me rephrase that. Just because I say a flick is good or not should not dictate whether you go to see the movie or not. But I hope in some way it opens up your eyes to see a film with more than just the eyes of just a fan. And so with that being said, I figured I would talk about my favorite movie of all time, because if I were to start into this foray of movie reviews and didn't talk about this flick, it just wouldn't be complete. So with that said, I'm just going to mention two actors, Tim Robbins, Morgan Freeman, Shawshank Redemption. Greatest movie of all time, in my opinion. It is the #1 movie on the top 250 countdown on IMDb. That's Internet Movie Database, imdb.com. Check it out if you're a good movie fan. If you're a big movie fan. Words can't even sum up this flick. I own the regular version on DVD, and I own the special edition also on DVD, and I own the VHS before DVD became the standard. Unfortunately, I never actually saw this movie in theaters, even though I actually wanted to. None of my friends actually wanted to watch it, and unfortunately, I did not go to watch it, even though I have a tendency to go see films myself. This is a great film. I mean, honestly, whether you're male or you're female, you will love this movie. It's a simple, basic premise of two men who find each other in prison and develop a very humanistic bond. Basically a story of friendship, and the way it unravels and how they learn about life, and really a lot of stuff in terms of death, the appreciation of life, the appreciation of friendship, the appreciation of being free. These are the things that you learn in this movie, and it's a movie that by the end, I mean, honestly, the first time I saw it, and still every time I watch it, I kind of tear up at the end. It's just so moving. The movie is directed by Frank Darabont, who's also done other flicks like The Green Mile, and I believe he was just involved in The Mist. Also Stephen King written short stories / books. The Green Mile was also originally written by Stephen King. Great story if you haven't read it. The film translation is superb. It is one of those very few rare movies where you can actually sit there and say that the translation to the big screen was just as good, if not better, than the actual written story. And pretty much 99.9% of times you can't say that. The acting is superb. Tim Robbins, phenomenal. His best acting performance ever, in my opinion, as Andy Dufresne. The myriad of emotions that he has to play, from numbness to when he goes to prison in the first place, being wrongfully accused of something that he really didn't do in the first place, to tragedy in the movie, to shock and fear when he encounters a group of bullies in prison who have all these sexual urges that have been pent up inside for so long because they haven't seen the outside, that they go and they rape newcomers to the prison, to feelings of just euphoria. By the time you get to the end of this film, the journey is remarkable. and it really encompasses every single emotion that you can think of. There are some classic scenes in this film, including a very sad scene 3/4 of the way through the film. I won't spoil it, but it's one of those. It's one of those scenes that's both tragic and uplifting at the same time. Those of you who've seen the movie know exactly what I'm talking about. There's also a great scene halfway through the film as a opera song that gets played through the PA speakers all throughout the courtyard in the prison. And just for one moment, you see the human bond that ties everybody in between. When everybody stops what they're doing and they just listen to the epiphany in the air of the melodious voice of the woman who's singing the sound, and just for that 1 second, you realize that we are all intertwined by just fundamental notion of peace and harmony, and that's really what we all want. And that's just a very powerful scene. You see, I have all these prisoners that are in there and whatnot, and just for at least like 30 seconds, here they are, and they're able to coexist peacefully without any extraneous thoughts or whatnot in their mind. The directing is superb. Like I said, Tim Robbins is spectacular. Morgan Freeman, always solid. I mean, multiple Oscar nominations and whatnot for the man. And the final scene is one that's very interesting. It's one that's definitely purging in a way. The movie does end on an up note, again without any spoilers or whatnot, but it's open-ended, and the beauty of it is you don't know what happens after that, but you're free to create your own storyline afterwards, to using what you have already learned from the film, as to what lies ahead for both Andy and Red being played by Morgan Freeman. The film is a little bit long. It's over the 2-hour mark, but it's well worth the ride. From a male standpoint, it may be a little more impactful, only because there is a lot of male bonding in the movie. There are a lot of references to Rita Hayworth, and it's actually very cute because Rita Hayworth turns out to be one of the crucial elements of this film, both figuratively and literally, as Hayworth first starts off as being a figurative means of escape from the prison, and by the end of the film, Hayworth actually turns into a literal means of escape. Those of you who have seen the movie know exactly what I'm talking about, and that's a nice little tie. One of the famous scenes of all time in cinema history is when Robbins finally gets outside and it's raining, and he actually just puts his hands out to the side, almost like Christ, and looks up, and there's a great boom shot from up above as it comes down on him, as the rain purges all his his worries and his sorrows away, and it's really beautiful. Moments like that make movies, and there are many moments like that in this film. The Shawshank Redemption is a film that if you have not seen, you should run, not walk, to your local Blockbuster, or if you're lazy, get it from Netflix, whatever you got to do. But if you have not seen this film, you're doing a great disservice to yourself. As I said, this is probably my favorite movie of all time. Subjectively, objectively, it is a technical masterpiece, both from a directorial standpoint. The acting is superb across the screen, and the storyline is extremely tight from start to finish. On a scale of 1 to 100, this is probably the only movie that up to this day I will actually give a 100. Thank you for watching, and tune in next time for the next review. Thanks.